Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, welcome if you're new. So I'm just gonna get right into it today. So my last couple videos you guys might have seen I had just an acrylic overlay on my natural nails with that light pink acrylic. And under that I had some hard gel from Young Nails. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys how I'm getting most of that off. Hope everyone's doing well, and these were nails for my birthday, which, you know, you guys, if you guys watch me, I make these plans and I tell myself I'm going to do my nails, and every single time I either don't do my other hand or just something happens, like, you know, time gets in the way, or I don't know. This I was doing at like midnight. Also, if you see any, there will be a couple of guests in the video because it is springtime and it was nighttime in my salon. I had the doors open, so a couple of little bugs were coming to the light, obviously. Anyway, I tell myself I'm going to do nails. I'm going to get myself a set on, because whenever I wear nails, like to work or anything, people ask for my cards constantly, and you know, it was my birthday, so I wanted to have birthday nails. And this set did not, as usual, come out the way I envisioned it. But, so I never ended up doing my right hand. So I'll just use the nails I have on for content next time. But I do still have them on. So I also have another video. Kendra came yesterday to get her nails rebalanced. So that video is edited. I just have to do the voiceover, so we'll be back-to-back videos here pretty soon. I want to show you guys my soak-off dishes. These are not brand new. They've been used many, many times. And I just wanted to show that you should be getting them this clean in between each use. I've seen these be used on some other channels, you know, and they just look filthy, and I don't understand that. It's not sanitary, so, you know, clean them when you're done with them. It just takes a second. As soon as you dump the acetone out, if you wash it with a brush in warm soapy water, it just cleans right off. So you guys, hard gel does not soak off, so that is what's still on my nails here. What I did was I took that Young Nails removal bit, that removal safety bit you saw me using to get most of the acrylic off. And when I started, by the way, I had tried I had already begun removing some of the acrylic a few days before, which is why it was at the stage it was at. And right here, this is in real time. I just wanted to show you guys, because a lot of times my videos are sped up twice and it looks pretty aggressive. I just wanted to show you how gentle I was actually going, and then this is sped back up again. So I took the acrylic off with the bit, and then I did just a real quick soak off. I put some cuticle oil on my skin because acetone and me don't really get along very well. It gives me blisters, it burns my skin. So I usually remove most of my product with my tools, and then protect my skin with some cuticle oil or Vaseline, and only soak for 10 minutes or less. So what I came out of the soak-off bowl, I went and washed the acetone off of my skin with soap and water and a brush, and so that's where I'm at now. And so what is left on my nails is any remaining acrylic, that little crustiness that you get from soaking, and the hard gel. So I'm just taking the hard gel down until it's flush to my nail. I do not need to remove all of it. In some cases it did come almost all the way off, and on some nails there was a little bit left. And the reason I do this is because my nails are very, very thin. They just are naturally extremely thin and flat, and they break and peel. Now I'm showing this nail because I want you guys to see the difference. Do you see the dust on this nail? How it's super, super fine and piles up really fast? That's how you can tell you're working on hard gel. The dust is very, very different from acrylic dust. I just wanted to show that. So this is what they're looking like when I'm finished. There's still product on there, but all of it is flush to my nail. None of it is lifting, and so I can safely go in and start a new set. So these are products I'm going to be using. Cover Pale Pink, Clear from Kiara Sky, and I already forgot that color I just showed you from Not Polished, what it was called, but I showed you there. That's the example of what I would like to do. Some of the other stuff I'm going to be using. These are my favorite tips, hands down, favorite ever. So what I'm going to do next, instead of putting hard gel or acrylic on my nails, because I always like to put something on my nails to protect them before I start going in with an application that I'm going to be keeping on if I'm not doing a pop-off, because again, they're just really thin and just paper thin naturally. So I don't put just acrylic straight on my nails. I just don't do that anymore. It's too harsh. So I'm just going to use a little, I already have my hands washed. I already have done all the prep I showed you. I used some Swipe. Once that dried, I'm going to put a little Triple X Bond from Not Polish on. And I'm going to go in with 3 coats of base coat. And so I've already done that. That's what's on my nails right now when you see that shiny surface, is 3 coats of base coat. So I just have a real good layer to thicken my nails up. And that made them shiny. So you're not going to go in and put acrylic on shiny nails. So I'm strictly, very lightly just removing the shine from that base coat. And this is sped up twice. So again, I'm doing this extremely gently because I don't want to remove any of that prep work or base coat I just put on. I'm just taking the shine off of it. So now I'm pretending as if this is like I'm going in for prep and this is a natural nail. Let's see if I have anything else to say about that. Okay, yeah, so I did use this dynamic nail glue for the first time on myself. I had only used it before on my practice hand, and it just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know if it was just because, I had on a base coat, or even though the base coat was roughened up, I don't know, it wouldn't stick like the Young Nails glue to me, so I did switch to the Young Nails glue, and that worked instantly as usual. After this, I'm going to snip the nails to the length I want, which is just really taking the number off, a little bit more than the number, because when I do content, I usually leave a full length, but when I'm going to be going to work and wearing them myself, I wear them as long as I can, trust me, but it's not always possible to keep them that long as I want. So this is the length I like to wear them at. And so I'm just showing you how to shape straighten the free edge, and then fine-tune a little bit the edges of the tip against my natural nail. I'm outside this morning if you hear birds, and if I sound sick, I got sick again. I was talking in my other videos about just my life has changed so completely from COVID and pneumonia-related problems. It's just unreal. So you guys, I've been exclusively using that Kiara Sky acrylic primer for myself and clients for a while now, and it's incredible. It's just incredible. I used to really be a protein bond user, and I still like that. I still stand by that product. But wow, I mean, this Kiara Sky stuff, there's just nothing like it. So I am going to do some real-time application for you guys. So this is in real time. Also, I forgot to mention, we had already had, the day before my birthday, April 10th, which was Monday, I think, Sunday, Monday, I don't know, 100-degree day already. So I have to turn my AC on in my nail room now instead of my heater, and I didn't do that because I didn't go in my room the day it was 100 degrees. So when I went in here this evening to do this set, my nail room was probably about 90 degrees in there. So I did turn my AC on and leave the room and come back, but my products were still pretty warm. My room was about 80 degrees at this point. So as you can see, this first bead, I like to use a real big, thick, meaty bead, and with Not Polish, it really gives you time to work, and just, it's my favorite thing. But I did switch brushes and start working with smaller, wetter beads after this, because you can kind of tell this really dried much quicker on me than I'm used to, because my nail room was too warm. And this is going to be the problem from here on out until probably around October, again this year. Even with the AC on, it's expensive to keep the AC running 24/7, which is what you have to do to keep your products at temp, even if you're not in that room. I have put in my other videos, but if you guys didn't know, my shop is a standalone building, not in my house, but on my property. So to keep that room at a certain temperature, I have to keep a heater or an AC, on when I'm not in there. The temperature difference is too large to just cool it down when I go in there, or warm it up just when I'm going in there. So, for example, it'll be over 100 degrees today. I need my nail products to be around 73, 74 to work correctly. Maybe 76 is kind of pushing it in my experience. So to cool a room down by over 30 degrees just because I'm going to go in there and work, I would need to plan ahead several hours and turn that on. So what I typically do is keep it, meaning the AC during the summer, just leave it on the thermostat at about 80. So it does click on and off, and keep that 20-degree difference settled down so that when I want to work, I just crank it down to 74, 75, and it only takes a few minutes to get to that temp, and my product's just a little bit longer. So anyway, to explain all of that, I told you all of that. My idea for this set was I really didn't have an idea. What I usually do is just grab some products and start looking at some colors and putting stuff together. So I did switch to my Bomb Nails brush, and I'm using smaller, wetter beads. Oh, let's see what else I was going to tell you guys. So yeah, application in this video is just not my usual, and it's just different. You guys will notice, I'm sure. Okay, so I will jump back on and say anything that I notice about the application, but I'm going to start talking about other topics. So I had a great birthday, by the way. I really just did nothing because I was sick, but I did have just a relaxing day, and I had family. My daughter came over. She is in real estate school, so she likes to come over here sometimes and study. And so she did that, and I was up till like 2 a.m. the night before doing these nails, so I slept in a little bit, and that was nice. And real quick before it gets there, I am going to take those hearts I showed you in the beginning and just encapsulate them on the top of the nail. And the other nails are going to be, I wanted a clear and blue marble with a few little pieces of glitter, like I showed that example nail in the beginning. And whenever I do a little sample nail, it seems like it just works out perfect because I'm not trying at all. It seems like the least you try, the better things come out. I don't know if you guys have that experience, but it really happens to me a lot. And so when I'm going to do the actual job, whether it's on a practice hand myself or a client or anything, I'm putting effort in and I'm trying, and it seems like that makes it harder. If I just wing it or whip it out because I'm only just making a little swatch, it just comes out perfectly. So that became annoying. That glitter that I showed you, it's absolutely stunning, beautiful glitter. And I had an idea of how I wanted it on the nail. Maybe only like 3 pieces of big glitter, and the rest just a spray of that fine little glitter that was in there, and I just couldn't get it out of the dish. I don't know why I didn't do what I did toward the second or third nail I started using it, which is just scoop it out of there. I don't know what I was doing. So again, my application game was just off, maybe because it was 1 a.m. I don't know. But so yeah, there's definitely a struggle with the glitter on the index finger, and when I got to the middle finger, I just wanted like an ombre of glitter, and it just kept giving me chunks, and it seemed like, I don't know if this happens to you guys, I'll talk about it when we get there, but just glitter doesn't always do what your mind sees it, like how you see the design in your mind is just not always that easy. I'm so sorry, you guys, for clearing my throat, but it's just a thing. It's not gonna stop. Also, I notice when I'm doing these videos, I'm literally just sitting here. The microphone must be super, super sensitive. I'm not touching anything. But there's always like loud, jarring, rustling noises. I'm sorry about that. It's never just me in my house where it's quiet, so I have to do my voiceovers outside 90% of the time. And right now, my wife is home doing some little projects. She's a project girl. She's always has multiple projects going on. So she's rustling around in the yard here somewhere. If you hear any little noises, that's her. She sure gets a lot done, though, I'll tell you that. So another thing that was annoying about this set to me was this color blue. I think was too light of a color. I chose too light of a color to marble with the clear. It wasn't giving me the dramatic look I wanted. I still wanted a subtle look though, but I didn't want it any darker because the solid nails that I did with the hearts, I didn't want them to be, I needed it to still match, which at the end I felt like it really didn't. There's these two solid ones, and so here's where the glitter struggle starts. I just wanted a spray of a couple little pieces going in the same vein as the marble, and they just kept sticking together. They were, yeah, it just became this glitter was a struggle for me through the whole set. So yeah, anyway, I do finally figure it out on the last nail. Do you see this? Like, what? I think, again, because it was hot, that was hardening quicker than I'm used to. And they are just already stuck there. And another thing is, when you put glitter on, you don't want it to look uniform. You want it to look like it's sprayed there or messy a little bit or ombre'd, not all in a row. And they just kept coming out on every nail like they were placed there in a line, and that is not how I wanted it. So that's why you'll see me keep fiddling and moving it around. And one piece of glitter on the middle nail I take off, and it leaves a big old divot. It's just kind of an atrocious application today, but anyway. So in the last couple of videos I talked about my old job, and I'm going to go back to that just a little bit. You guys can let me know if you want more story times, like the time that a guy drove his car into the front glass of our store, and his car was in our lobby, and he pinned a lady. I could tell that story. I have a lot of stories. If you guys want some horror story work restaurant, just let me know. I'll be happy to tell them. I have lots more to say about that terrible company and some of the other things they did to me, especially toward the end. But today I'm just going to mention that, and I've said this in my other videos too, that I've just been struggling for the past couple of years from catching my second bout of COVID and it turning into what's called COVID pneumonia, or long COVID. If you guys have any experience with this, you know what I'm talking about. I did not know about this until it started happening to me. But basically, you're just not going to get rid of it, and that's all. You're going to live with it. Your immune system is shot. Where I work at Target, I just go in and I be a cashier every day, and it's low stress, and it's what I wanted from coming off a horrible job that just owned me for so many years. It's just such a relief to work for a company that actually appreciates you and that literally cares about you, and understand that they wouldn't have what they have if they don't have good employees putting that work out, which I never understood why that smaller company that I worked for didn't understand that. Like, you're opening more and more and more locations because you have good employees. I mean, you may have your business model, and you may be putting down rules and policies and bringing out the food and the recipes and everything else, but it's a cohesive thing. It takes a village, it takes a team. Anyway, I definitely feel appreciated there. And another thing that is cool about there that was not cool at my last job is that at every cash register, I don't know, there's like 14 or 15 cash registers there probably, besides the self-checkout. And every single one of them has, at your station, as soon as you walk in, it's already there. You don't have to go get it. You don't have to restock it. It's your job to make sure it's set up for the next person, and everybody does their job. But at each station, there is a bottle of disinfectant, and there is a towel that you use just for that. There is a container of sanitizer for yourself and customers. You are completely allowed to sanitize between each customer. You're allowed to wear gloves if you want. You can wear a mask if you want. There are registers that have plexiglass up still from when that was a regulation. And so you can choose to work whatever registry you want. You don't come in and get assigned. You just jump on which one's available, and many of them have the plexiglass. So I will choose a plexiglass one. I sanitize between customers. I'm able to wipe down the whole conveyor belt, the counter where people are, using the card machine. I don't have to touch people's cards. The only thing I have to touch is the products, which I'm sure have tons and tons of germs on them. So I sanitize constantly, between as many customers as I can. And I always stop and sanitize my hands, especially after I touch cash. It's just the dirtiest thing ever, ever. But despite that, I still caught something. It was not COVID, thank goodness, but I came down with what I thought was allergies, because I gave myself 3 COVID tests over the past 2 weeks when I've been feeling this way. And the other day, I woke up, I don't know what day it was, the week before my birthday. It was Wednesday. Now I remember it was Wednesday. And this is where I just wanted the glitter to just be a little ombre fading up, and it just started to look completely square and placed there. So I finally figured that out. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I finally had to go to urgent care because I just couldn't breathe. I just realized that it was not a cold, it was not allergies, it was definitely in my lungs. And to just explain a little bit, what was explained to me, horrifyingly, after last November when I ended up in the hospital for almost 10 days, 8 days, something like that, from my catching COVID the second time when it went deep into my lungs. That hospital stay, I was diagnosed with bilateral pulmonary embolisms, which means blood clots on both lungs, dead tissue from those blood clots cutting off circulation, so dead lung tissue in those areas, double pneumonia, and the pneumonia was so bad that I couldn't bend over to put on socks, wash my feet in the shower. Like I needed actual help to do things, to get in and out of bed, to stand up and down, because of pain and because of, the pain was so unreal, because of pain and because of anytime I would bend over, like if you get a gallon of milk and you start pouring it down the drain and it glug, 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 I could feel fluid glugging around in my lungs like that. It was just horrifying. And I'm going to tell you guys a little something about me after this, like me personally, but instead of just this illness. But to be hospitalized and to be told, okay, we gave you a CT scan, we found the blood clots, we also found a hiatal hernia, so you have COVID, you have double pneumonia, you have dead lung tissue, you have 2 blood clots, or they didn't say how many blood clots, they just said blood clots on both lungs, double pneumonia, and what's called long COVID and or COVID pneumonia. But there's nothing we can do, okay? We're going to send you home, and we're not sending you home with any antibiotics or painkillers. You just have to suck it up, buttercup, and that's all. And, well, what do I do next? Well, nothing. What do you mean nothing? Like, when do we do another CT scan to see if the clots are gone? Oh, well, CT scans are too hard on your kidneys. You can only have those twice a year. So we'll check back in 6 months. Okay, when do I go back to work? Oh, because I've been out of work for over a month. No human being in this economy can. I live paycheck to paycheck. We have a nice house and beautiful things and cars and every single thing I want I have. I'm good, but I can't sustain that if I don't work. I don't have fancy crazy things. I just have what I need and I'm happy. But I'm not willing to lose any of it. So what do you mean? Just no. You need to go home and rest. The only way to get rid of this is rest and fluids. Okay, so for how long? Well, just follow up with your primary care. Oh, okay. So I call my primary care, tell him the whole story. He has my hospital records, and he says the same thing. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Check back on those blood clots in 6 months. In the meantime, you're going to take those blood thinners, and you're going to get some rest. Okay, cool. What about this pneumonia, though? Can I work with blood clots? Like if I start feeling better next week, let's just say my energy's back, because by the way, I was exhausted, beyond exhausted. Doing anything for 10 minutes would kill me for the rest of the day. Also, I had a fever of like 103 for weeks. It wasn't even weeks, actually, you guys. It was like 6 weeks. It was over a month that I had over 101, 102, 103 fever every day. Every day. It was just really bad. And so, when does this stop? Like, what do we do about it? Well, you already had antibiotics in the hospital and that didn't work. What do you mean? Like, give me stronger antibiotics. Give me something different, better. What do you mean? No. Well, with COVID pneumonia, it's viral. It's not bacterial. So we try antibiotics once just to see if it's bacterial. If it were bacterial pneumonia, trust me, those IV antibiotics we gave you would have killed it. It didn't. So that means it's COVID pneumonia. That means it's viral pneumonia. A virus is just like, if you think about it, if you catch a cold, that's a virus. If you catch a cold, you don't take antibiotics for a cold. Virus has to go away on its own. So just go home and get rid of that pneumonia. Just see when it goes away. Well, it's not going to go away if it's windy, which it is. It's not going to go away if you have allergies, which I do. It's not going to go away if your immune system is now completely shot and you catch every single germ that comes your way. So that's what I'm dealing with now. Now that I'm back to work, within the first 3 weeks, I caught some kind of cold, and now I'm back out of work again, having to call in sick at my new job with full-fledged pneumonia in both lungs again. It took me 3 months, almost 4 months, being out of work to what I thought was get rid of it last time. I guess it still has never gone away. It just got better. I don't have 6 months in a year to sit on my couch. I'm gonna have to sell my car. This is crazy. And this is why? Why is this all happening? Because my last job, I'm not trying to blame it on them, and I'm not gonna sue them. I'm not crazy or weird or anything, but for real, because they wouldn't let me protect myself and wear protective gear during COVID because it would offend a customer. I mean, that is what it boils down to. And it also boils down to, if I did decide to take it to court or be a weirdo or whatever, Arizona's a right to work state. So I agreed to work there under their conditions. So they're protected. There's just nothing that I could do to them for preventing me from being able to protect myself against COVID at work while I'm working for them. So I have no recourse. I've heard that disability takes several years of denials, which cool, I can start that all up now, but what do I do in the meantime? Because I already went and got myself another job. I already figured out how many hours I need to work to just sustain the things I have, but I can't sanitize between every customer at Target, wear a mask, wear gloves, take all the precautions possible, and still get sick and still be asked out and sat down for months because I still have pneumonia. So I would love to know if anyone else is dealing with this, because something about me, you guys, I don't know, I'm an Aries. I was raised to be a strong woman. I'm independent. I know you guys are probably seeing the little bug carcasses and bugs crawling around. Sorry about that. There were, like I said, little guests in my video here. But this has been hard on me mentally because I've never been a sickly person. I don't want to say that people who are sickly are weak, but in my mind, it makes me feel weak to have someone help me put my socks on. It makes me feel very weak to have to wonder how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. That's in it. This sucks. I hate saying I'm sick. I almost can't get it out of my mouth. Like if my mom or someone calls me and I've caught a cold since the last time I talked to them, I literally feel, I can't describe the emotion, like shame, anger, so many feelings just to say, when they say, how are you? Oh, I'm sick again. Or as soon as I start talking, they hear it in my voice. I guess weak is the feeling. I don't know. I'm not used to that, you guys. Everyone would be sick around me all my life, at school, work, anywhere, and I would never catch it. My immune system was champion level. and it's gone. This has completely changed my whole entire life, and I'm not being a crier or a whiner, I'm just talking. But, yeah, and every doctor I see, all the research I do, it's just, there's nothing I can do. Like, I just don't have words for it. And when I sit down and I think about it, it's just extremely disheartening. I don't know, I just keep plugging away every day. I keep doing the things I can do and want to do. And I will be back to work tomorrow. I'm going back to work tomorrow. But I feel, a little bit of fear, because what if I'm not better. I shouldn't be going back to work tomorrow. Not at all. I'm still coughing very, very, very deeply without bringing anything up. I feel like my throat's going to bleed sometimes. And I still feel all of that in my lungs. What they did for me this time was just give me some steroids, because antibiotics don't do anything. Yeah, so I'm back to work tomorrow and literally terrified that I'm going to catch another germ. I stopped that there because I wanted you guys to see the shape of that index finger because of these tips. If you don't own these tips and you like coffin nails, go get them right now. Okay, so let's stop and drop that subject. I don't want to be, this is why I don't usually drag this up, this topic, but I did want to address how come in every video or every other video I have some weird voice, or I'm clearing my throat, or I'm coughing, or I'm telling you guys I'm sick. Just the word sick and I'm sick. If I never hear that again, if I never have to say that again, it would be the biggest pleasure of my life, the best gift. So I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to sit on a pity pot. But if you guys, let's talk about it. If any of you guys are dealing with this, or if you have family members that are dealing with it, if you have a solution, or just a positive thought, or anything, or any questions, maybe you're just starting to go through this, or, I don't know, but I just thought I'd talk about it. And sorry if this video was a little depressing because of that, but thank you for listening. I really, really appreciate this community. If I don't say it enough, you guys, I love it really is one thing that has truly, truly helped me get through this. And it's really when I started posting a lot more videos, because I was just home so much more. I told you my last job just, owned me. That's the best way I can say it. And I had very, very, very little time to do anything but sleep and eat if I wanted to have any kind of other life, like a wife and kid and grandkids, add that to it, and then add nail clients and customers and videos and YouTube, and I had no time at all. So this, again, there have been some amazing life changes come about because of this. Like, I got away from that horrible company. I would have never, because I was so wrapped up in the ownership of that, and I took that so seriously, even though they treated me so badly. It's not that I ever thought it would get better. It's not that I ever thought it was going to change. I don't know how else to describe it except I'm loyal. I just kept going every day, and I wasn't going to walk away. I just don't walk away from things. I guess that's the best way to put it. So in order for me to have walked away from that, I can tell you guys some of the little straws that broke the camel's back in another video, because I do need to talk more about that place and that job, so you guys can get some some more deets about that. But I have had some pretty cool comments from you guys about hearing more personal things, which me personally, when I'm watching someone else's channel, I love hearing about their life, their kids, their job, their frustrations, their fears, their happiness, their accomplishments. I love all of that. So yeah, I think I will keep talking about things that interest me and things I think you guys might be interested in. And you guys still please keep commenting to keep it coming or shut it down. So getting back to the nails, you've noticed, I'm sure, I finished my application. Let me back up. I did not say what I wanted to finish saying about this community. I wanted to thank you guys for your thoughts, your support, just all your comments, even just the littlest one that just says something nice. It brightens my day. It's really, really helped me get through all of this, and I appreciate you guys, all of you. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Also, in my description box are discount codes for places you guys can get discounts if you're interested. And I don't think I'm going to talk about this set because this is pretty much over. If you have any questions about the set or any of the products, leave them in the comments. And I just want to, again, thank you guys so, so much for all your support and love and just presence, your presence here in this community. I love it. Hope you guys enjoyed the nails. I did have a happy birthday, so this is my little birthday set. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and more stories next time. Bye, guys.